What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Profits at Noon. We're going to get started in just a minute here, give everyone a chance to get in and get settled. Frank, it's good to see you. James, welcome. Burnt, I hope you all had a great weekend. Keith, Daniele, it's good to see some usual suspects, familiar faces here. Awesome. We're going to get started in just a minute, guys and gals. This is the Monday edition of Ninjacators' new weekly live event called Profits at Noon. Awesome. It's great to see everybody. Getting started in just a minute here. If you have any questions today throughout the presentation, please feel free to fire away in the chat, and I will go ahead and build a queue. We can address those questions and the answer they are received. So if you see something on your screen, you don't want to let it go, you don't want to forget, please fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to ensure that we address that for you today. So I see we have a pretty solid little crew coming together here. We're going to get things started. So welcome, everyone. Again, this is the new weekly live event from Ninjacators, Profits at Noon. We are live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at noon Eastern Time. So we'll show you the levels that we are stalking for entry and steer you clear of any market traps, news bombs, or surprises that could be waiting around the corner. So in addition to all this great live analysis and the levels that you'll get to copy and trades you can stalk, you'll get to stay with us and see all of these trade ideas pan out. You'll get to see them in action. So definitely stick around and join us for the follow-up events later this week. My name is Nate. Typically, I co-host these events with our very own Richard Krugel. However, Richard was not able to make it today, so our very own Kyle Kinney is in the house. We're going to hand the reins to him in just a moment to lead the analysis portion of today's session, but I also do want to mention we have our very own Craig Hill in the house. So Craig is going to jump in after Kyle is done. He has prepared a very special presentation for you, and we'll also have an invite link to a live event tomorrow. So stick around, lots to show you today. So now, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get today's session started. So I'll bring in our pal Kyle Kinney and let him lead this analysis, and then I will circle back if we have any Q&A, and then we'll jump in with Craig. Kyle, to you, sir.
There we go. All right. Sorry about that little delay on my side here. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right. And audio and visuals coming through okay?
Looking and sounding great. Looking in particular, that fade.
Oh, yeah, working on it, man. Fortunately, my best fade apparently is in the front. I'm trying to get it to the sides, make it look nice.
You got to cultivate and adapt,
I guess. All right, guys. Thank you, Nate, for having me here today. It's an honor to be here, and yeah, Richard does such a great job. So hopefully, I can at least carry the water today, through this session. But let me go ahead and get through the disclaimer here real quick, guys. As a reminder, trading does carry significant risk, and all information in this video is provided for educational purposes only and is not offer or recommendation to trade futures, stocks, options, or forex. Trading is risky. Certainly the case in the markets lately. All right, guys. Hey there, Jackie. How's it going? See a couple of familiar faces in here. Welcome, guys. It's good to see you here on a Monday, not a Friday in Signal Lab. Well, let's go ahead and get you started here and go ahead and get through the week here. So as we go through the week, we do have, starting out this week, coming into the morning session, we did see a little bit more risk on appetite as there's a little bit more government support kind of coming in for the banks, kind of helping out risk a bit. You can see it's starting to fade here as well. But it looked a little bit more appetizing coming into the market here. We're going to go ahead and go through all these levels here in just a second. Going through the week and just kind of things to go ahead and watch out for. We do have Fed speeches kind of scattered throughout the week here. Fed speeches, testimony, and whatnot. One of the key things to go ahead and watch. Actually, I think Barr, is he talking today here? Might have been. I think he made some comments here not too long ago. But we do have Fed speeches and testimonies kind of scattered throughout the week. We want to see if those guys are still continuing in line with the Fed and their overall position in the market, or if there's any kind of wavering testimony going in the opposite direction. So some certainly to kind of watch out for. And just keep an eye on just throughout the New York cash session. Inflation numbers. We do have inflation numbers coming out here in the EU. later on here in this week. So those are some things to certainly watch out for to see if it's indeed cooling off over there a bit, or you see some type of at least a little bit of a reprieve. If you're trading the overnight session, even beginning of the session here, that is certainly something to go ahead and watch out for. I believe we have inflationary numbers coming out of Germany here on Thursday. GDP numbers coming out here on Thursday as well in the States. Coming into the end of the week, that seems to be where a lot of the action, at least news-wise, will take place. You do have personal income, personal spending coming out on Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we're going to watch some inflationary data there as well. And you'll probably just see it's just a constant theme just throughout the news. And if you're watching the Bloomberg or CNBC throughout the day, just a constant theme, as well as banking. So that's a lot of the news for the U.S. side seems to be stacked here at the end of the week. But just watch out for those Fed speeches. Just kind of keep a note on it when they are indeed speaking, just in case they, you never know, a surprise comment can drop out of their mouth at any second. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the charts here. And I want to give Craig as much time here as possible. So bear with me if you guys have any questions or need me to slow down here a bit. I'm happy to go ahead and do that here as well. But let's go ahead and start here with the ES. I like to start out from a higher time frame, kind of work my way down. Here we have on the daily time frame here. Let's go ahead and zoom in here a bit. Had a nice outside day here a few days ago, and then it started to make a couple of new lows. Nice reversal here, but we're kind of in between a couple of levels here. Let's go ahead and get a better view on a smaller time frame here. So some of the key levels to watch for right now, going into the afternoon here as well. This 4026 level, we've come up here quite a bit. Here's on a 60-minute time frame on the ES. We've come up here quite a bit, retest this level. Every time we come up here, you can see the impulsive natures to the downside. That 40-30 level, we just keep kind of having trouble with that area. That's certainly a trouble area, but the impulsivity certainly seems to be the downside. Right now, we're consolidating around 4,000. We do have a low nearby here, 39.9750. Right now, again, coming into the session here, looked a little bit more like you had a little bit more risk on type of appetite here, but you can see that the sellers are coming right back in here and pretty much slamming this down. So I'd continue to watch for potentially new lows, especially if we ahead is 39.97, which are really close by. The next level to watch for is going to be right around the 39.90 level here, 39.88. We'll see if that indeed gets hit. Again, nice little break at the highs here. Would love to see 40.40 broken with a nice reversal there, but you can see that market's still pushing down to the downside pretty well. So again, 39.90 area would be the next area to watch here on the ES on the downside. And then beyond that, we could certainly look at this 39.68 area, right around 39.70, 39.68 as the next potential level to go ahead and keep an eye on. So we'll see how that shakes out coming down to a smaller time frame, see if there's anything here to look for. You can see that we had a nice move from the lows, nice impulsive move to the downside, bit of consolidation. Nice little reversal candle here, but really no lift, just a lot of consolidation here. If we do bounce up, we could bounce up into the 40-20 area, maybe potentially down into, somewhere around the 40-20 area. If you look into let's go back to the 60-minute chart here. We got a little bit of a price gap here, kind of a quick move between the lows here at 40.18 to 40.13. So if we do bounce up, this could be the first trouble area as we try to fill this little price gap here. But those are levels to watch for on the downside, 39.88 on the top side, 4,026, 40.30 area here if we continue to move higher, but a little bit of a trouble area right around 40.20 as well. Moving over to the NQ. All right, go ahead and back out here. All right, NQ, you can see we're hanging around the highs. Nice pierce of the highs here at one point, just not by a whole lot, just pierced it here just as such. Kind of drifting since then, but today we're getting a little bit of impulsivity here. We had a kind of an inside day here, and we're starting to break that little inside day here, but you can see a lot of kind of consolidation through here. Let's go ahead and go down to a 60-minute time frame here. I wish I kind of loaded up here a little bit more. So initially I was looking at it to this 12,790 area to get hit. Certainly it did get tagged here. The next low to go ahead and watch for is 12,278. And then beyond that, 12,680, 678 area here as well. Again, impulsivity definitely seems to be to the downside here. Nice little pierce to the highs right through here, and then right after that, all the aggression definitely seems to be to the downside here. So or come back, tested this high consolidation area, could certainly still test the lower bounds of this area here and potentially get a bounce. But again, everything is certainly leaning to the downside here and at the current moment. So these are the levels to watch for. If we do indeed bounce from this area, the first area to go ahead and watch will be right around this 12,860 area. Again, as we kind of fill this gap here. But let's go ahead and go down to a 15-minute time frame here. All right. So yeah, right back into this area. If we do bounce from here, that would be the next area to go ahead and watch for going into the afternoon. But if we continue to the downside, then 12,728.50 would be the next good area to keep an eye on. Coming into the YM, again, let's go ahead and back out here. Kind of a big consolidation area, bigger consolidation area overall that we've been in just for a few months. Broke out to the downside here. Consolidated. This little low here looks extremely anemic. We did have, again, an outside day here a few days ago, and the bounce and kind of recovery of this has been kind of anemic here as well. Nice little reversal candle, but have yet to see any follow through. We're currently watching, let's go ahead and go 60-minute here. All right, guys, I'm on a different workspace, so some of my charts are not working all that great. Yes, looking at that 32,700 area here, you can see we bounced off it here a few times. This is one of the things I was looking for here. Again, on a 60-minute, you had these big candles, and you had a bit of a kind of a price gap here. You have a lot of low volume that occurs during times like this, kind of market inefficiency. So you like to see those get filled from time to time. Kind of retested it. So that's kind of what I'm seeing when I look at these kind of candle gaps here. Again, 32,700 would be the next area to watch. Nice reversal off of this high here. You're getting a little bit impulsivity to the downside, not as much as in other markets here, a bit of consolidation. But 32,700 would be the next area to watch on the upside. Then beyond that would probably be around this 32,827, 830 area. If we continue to the downside here, again, every time we kind of popped up into this area, we've had some impulsivity. So if we continue to the downside here, 32,000 here, 32,417 would be the next area to go ahead and watch. We do have some nice resistance turn support here in this area. And then beyond that, we could certainly look at this 32,328 area down here as well. Again, top side 32,700, and then 32,000. Oops, sorry, 32,000, right around the 830 area here as well. All right, going into the Russell here. Let's go back out here. Here in the Russell, you can see that we continue to make new lows here. Every time we break to a new low here, the bounces have been pretty anemic, as we've expected. Have a bit of a kind of this drift of death here. Not a big fan of these things. And I gotta save this here. Let's do this. That's driving me nuts. There we go. As far as the current day goes, you can see nice pierce to the highs. Again, impulsivity to the downside here. Let's go down to a 15-minute, get a bit of a better picture here. A little consolidation, kind of a break to the downside here. Next lows to watch will be right on the 1745 area. And then beyond that, we could see a retest of the 1733 to 1735 area if we continue more to the downside here. Top side areas to watch will be the 1722 highs. We could also retest, and we kind of did that here already. All right, so if you see here in the 15-minute, had a nice move and then a little bit of a gap, and you kind of see that we filled that here a little bit. But we could retest 1765 here on the top side. So for right now, going into the afternoon, watch 1765 as a trouble point, and then 1772 here as well. Downside areas to watch will be 1745 if we do indeed break to the downside. A bit of a consolidation area. We'll see if we get any follow through here. But if we break those lows, then I think 1745, potentially even this area right through here, 1750, would be an interesting area to go ahead and watch. Coming into gold here, I did have some more analysis on this initially. The chart's marked up, but when I came back to the workspace, it was gone. I guess I forgot to save it. But a nice fake out from the highs here. And so far, gold seems to be holding up here overall. Previously back at the beginning of March here, end of February, came down, retested this high volume area, really nice low, and then a really nice launching point off that low. And some good move to the upside, movements up here to the upside here. Let's go take a look at a smaller time frame. All right. So sentiment right now is a little bit more bearish on the day. You can see it turning here a bit. Could certainly see a retest right back into this area here, set at 1969. If we come back again, nice big candle here in a 60-minute time frame. But if we continue to get further upside, 1969 would be the area to go ahead and watch. And then we could also retest back into and see that there's a lot of consolidation right into that 1980 area here as well. You can see price got caught up into this area quite a bit. So we could see, if we see further upside, that 1980 area certainly seems to be pretty interesting. To the downside here, let's go down to a smaller time frame. So to the downside here, again, a bit of consolidation. If we start to fall off here, then the first area to watch will be right around that 1951 area. Then we do have the lows right around 1945. Again, beyond that, the area to watch will be right around that 1938 area if we continue to the downside. But got a little inverted head and shoulder pattern, potentially maybe make a new higher low here. We'll see. Have to see how the afternoon shakes out. But those are levels to watch for now. And then crude oil here finally broke out of this range a little while back. So a couple areas you can see that we have this kind of falling trend line here as well. The 72 area is going to be certainly a key area to go ahead and watch. Go down to a 60-minute here. Yeah, so 72 area is certainly a key area to go ahead and watch further upside here. Looking pretty bullish here on the day. Be aware we do have that falling trend line has tested this area here quite a bit. And again, it all kind of has a confluence right around that 72 area. So the market certainly seems to be a little bit more, seems to be a little attracted to that area here as well. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. Let's go down to a lower time frame here. And we'll finish with crude oil. Again, nice uptrend here so far. Watch 72. We have this overhead resistance here. A little bit ahead of it, right around actually right at 71.50 that we're currently up against here right now. So again, if we break out of that, watch 72. If we pull back, 70.50 area would certainly be an interesting area to go ahead and watch. And then beyond that, you see some good support around the $70 area here as well. So those are upside and downside targets for crude oil. With that said, I think I am right at my time here. So I'll go ahead and hand it back off to Nate, unless there are any other questions.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kyle. We really appreciate those insights. We appreciate you joining us here today and filling King Richard's big shoes. I think you did a great job. So thank you so much.
Definitely appreciate that. Harold says head and shoulders on crude oil. Certainly see the inverted head and shoulders that you're probably talking about right here as well. So that does project up to the 72, even 72.50 area. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Yeah, and if you have any questions for Kyle before we move on, please feel free to fire away in the chat here. We are getting ready to bring on our very own Craig Hill. Craig has a very special presentation prepared for us today, as well as a link we'll be sharing here in the chat to bring you into a live event we're hosting tomorrow. So giving you guys just one quick second, if you had any questions on the analysis or our levels today, we'll be happy to address that before we move on. If not, we are going to keep things trucking right along and get Craig Hill in here. We will make some room for one more Q&A before we wrap the session today. So it's not necessarily a speak now or forever hold your peace scenario. Great. So it looks like we're ready to move right along. So guys, just so you know, I think a lot of you already know who Craig Hill is. If you don't, if you're not familiar with Craig already, Craig is one of our experts in all things Robot Lab. So I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about our Robot Lab. Some of you may already be members, which is great. Craig Hill of Trading Concepts fame, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only. So, Craig, if you're with us, we'll go ahead and bring you in right now and let you launch right into what you have prepared for us.
I am here. Thanks, Nate. I'm trying to share the video, but it's not working. But
I'll take care of that. One sec.
I mean, it's not that important because I'm not as handsome as Kyle, but
sure thing. You know what it was? We were rolling earlier, and I forgot to make you a co-host. That's my bad. You should be good to go now, Craig.
That's all right. Hey guys,
it's a good camera, Craig. That's all I gotta say, man. It's a good camera.
What's that?
I have a good camera, man.
It's the camera. It's all.
Yeah.
No,
it's like Christopher Nolan's directing Kyle. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, well, first off, I just want to say thank you, Kyle and Nate, for the intro and allowing me to join you guys here today to share something with you here. I mean, the video, I'm going to move it this way. There we go. So it's more centered. Yeah, I wanted to come in today, guys, and share something with you that we have going on tomorrow afternoon, okay? But before I begin, I'm sure Nate or Kyle have probably already gone over this, but I must remind you that trading does carry significant risk, right? And all information in this webinar or video is provided for educational purposes only and is not an offer or a recommendation to trade future stocks, options, or Forex, okay? So if you guys really like Richard's analysis and Kyle's analysis, right, and what they're doing in here, in addition to what we're doing in here, the trades that Kyle went over and the trades that Richard has gone over in previous Profits at Noon sessions, or even in addition to your own discretionary trading, right? We've got the perfect thing that will help you scale it, okay? We call it Robot Lab. And it allows you to take everything that you're learning from Richard and Kyle, and I'm hoping that one day I could come in here too, and scale it. Okay, so tomorrow afternoon, right after the market closes, guys, I'd like to invite you to a free live master class where you'll learn a uniquely proven way that you can use fully automated day trading systems to go from zero to full-time trading. If you're already trading full-time, to create another stream of income for yourself. Okay, I'll be there. I'm not presenting. The presenter is the guy that is the architect behind Robot Lab, and his name is Christian, and you're going to absolutely love him. Now, before I show you a portfolio that I've just recently created, and if you are in Robot Lab, this is actually a new portfolio. Let me just before I do that, let me just give you a sneak peek of what you're going to see tomorrow afternoon. Okay, it's about a 60-minute presentation with some time for Q&A at the end. And here's what Christian is going to talk about. Oh, and by the way, you're actually going to get a free robot if you want one just for coming. Okay. All right. So here's what you're going to learn tomorrow afternoon. Christian's going to talk about our backwardation certainty secret and what that even means. So this way you'll know what to expect from an automated trading system. And so this way you can develop trust in a system. And I just realized it. I'm not even sharing my screen, am I? Oh, way to go. Here we go. So you guys see my screen now?
Yeah,
Which
you're coming
screen
through.
are you seeing? Which one are you seeing?
We're seeing what you'll learn in this free live class.
Okay, with the little icons here.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Sorry about that, guys. I'm glad I didn't get too far into it. Yeah, it looks like it was just that. Oh, it was that slide and that slide. Okay, so sorry about that. I thought I was sharing my screen. So yeah, what Chris is going to talk about here is the backwardation certainty secret, okay, and what that even means. So this way you'll know what to expect from an automated trading system. And so this way that you can develop trust in a system so you can continue trading it for the long term. All right, he'll show you how you can slash risk. right? Risk is a huge issue for myself, and in speaking with other traders, drawdowns are a huge issue, right? Especially if you have a small account. He'll show you how to create a portfolio, or even I'll show you how to create a portfolio of bots that minimize drawdowns and maximizes profits. Once you join Robot Lab, we'll dive into it more, but he'll show you on tomorrow afternoon. And in fact, within the next few slides, guys, I'd like to show you a portfolio that I created. Now, this portfolio is made up of 17 bots. It's diversified, and there's low correlation among all of the bots which make up the portfolio. And honestly, this is the key to minimizing drawdowns, okay? Christian's also going to discuss with you the #1 automated day trading system mistake that traders make. And he'll show you how to avoid it, okay? Something I had to learn the hard way. And finally, he'll show you a 0 to full-time income trading action plan. So you'll learn a step-by-step plan for scaling your portfolio of bots as you build your account over time. And of course, at the end of the webinar, we'll save some time for Q&A so that Christian can get all of your questions answered, all right? So I don't want to bore you with all the details here. Christian will go over those with you later in tomorrow's class. All right, but let me show you this. That portfolio that I was talking about, take a look at this equity curve, okay? From May 6, 2019, when the micros began trading, until just recently, March 14th, look at these performance metrics, okay? Look at the total net profit, 99.6, right? Compared to the maximum drawdown, which is 2.1K, okay? Just a little over 2,000. This portfolio has a 54% winning percentage with a profit factor of almost 2 to 1, okay? And when I ran the back tests on this portfolio, okay, I included slippage. So slippage is included in there, because I know some of you might be thinking, you know, is slippage in there? Are we factoring those kind of things into it? Yes, we are, okay? And the other thing to keep in mind, guys, this isn't discretionary, okay? These are fully automated strategies. And look at this. This is the historical monthly net profit distribution of this portfolio, okay? It shows you how it's performed and gives you an idea of what to expect each month. All right, look at this. Really, you only have like maybe 2, maybe 3 losing months out of 46, okay? There's some break-even months in here, but there's only 2 losing months, okay? Maybe 3, if you want to even consider this a losing month. I mean, it's just more or less break-even, right? The largest losing month was actually last month. Several of the portfolios, it took a loss last month. You will have winning months and losing months, but look at how many more winning months that you see in here and see how much bigger they are, okay? This portfolio averages about 21K, 2,100, 2.1K per month in the long run, okay? The largest losing month last month was less than $900, okay? And this is just trading the smallest position size, okay? Which is pretty much 1 micro bot on all of the, 1 micro contract on all of the bots, except for 2 of them. There are 2 bots in here that don't trade very often, and they look for quality trades. So on those, and their drawdown is very little. So on those bots, it makes sense to position size, to go with 2 and 3 contracts, okay, minimum. All right. So, and like I said earlier, while all the other, like we've got other portfolios that we created, but other portfolios that have been made up of mostly of E-mini S&P and Nasdaq 100 bots, they took a hit last month. Okay. Personally, I did too. And of course, I set my phone on silent, right? But the alarm's still going to go off, but it's killed now. So sorry about that. But if you started trading this portfolio on January 1 with a $10,000 account, you'd still be profitable to date, okay? Now, the equity curve, you only saw about a 9% correction, all right? And and that's the reason why I created this portfolio. I wanted a little bit more diversification, low correlation, right? And you can see here, right over here, the net profit column, pretty much at the end of February, it gave back January losses, right? But so far in March, we're up year to date. Okay. So this is, if you're in Robot Lab, okay, if you already have Robot Lab, this is something we could talk about on Thursday. If you don't have Robot Lab, then you need to come check us out tomorrow afternoon. Okay. So, and this is just one of the portfolios that I've created for a $10,000 plus starting account size. Okay. And again, by optimizing bots and only trading those bots with the least amount of correlation, guys, see all the bright green here? All right. That's low correlation. If we saw any red boxes in here, that would indicate that those two bots are highly correlated, right? Meaning they take similar trades. And this could be great on good days, right? But it's not so good on bad days, okay, where they get stopped out. It's kind of a double-edged sword, okay? So trading high correlated bots is pretty much a double-edged sword. And the other thing I want to point out is I'm trading optimized bots with low correlation. It doesn't only minimize risk, but it provides you with a higher return to drawdown ratio and a much smoother and consistent equity curve. Okay. So as you can see here, again, you will have winning days and losing days, sometimes even a set of consecutive winning days and consecutive losing days, resulting in some losing weeks, right? Just like any profitable strategy, right? But keep in mind, this portfolio, the largest correction was like 9%. Okay. And that was just if you started this year. Okay. So on a $10,000 account, for example, on a $5,000 account, it'd be about 18%, still less than 20 or 25%. All right. Take a look at this monthly net profit distribution, pretty much over the last 3.5 to 4 years. Again, only really 2 losing months. Okay. The losing months were roughly about $700 to $890. And I want to point out the months prior to this and clearly outweigh those 2 months. Okay. The months prior and after. In fact, the average profit per month is just over 2K. All right. So guys, the bots that make up this portfolio all have positive expectancy and the long-term results speak for themselves. A steady and stable equity curve that minimizes drawdowns. Okay, maximizes returns. You just have to let the portfolio run. It literally only takes a few minutes each week to enable the bots, check on them in the morning before the market opens, and then again in the afternoon after the market closes. I literally turn them on Sunday, and then I leave them running the entire week until Friday. Okay, now for some, an average of just over 2K a month may not seem like a lot of money. But keep in mind, okay, it only takes a few minutes each day. So you don't have to spend hours in front of the computer. And again, this is from trading only one micro contract on all of these bots, but 2 of them. Okay. And it's scalable, right? So let's say you double your position sizing on all of these bots. All right. You'd be averaging about $4,300 per month. Okay. Or you would have averaged about $4,300 per month over the last 3.5 to 4 years. And if you tripled your position sizing on all these bots, 3 micros on most of them, except for those 2, you'd be trading anywhere from 6 to 9. Okay. That would be an average about $6,472 a month, almost $6,500 per month. Okay. So see what I mean? If you look at the yearly net profit distribution, last year, this portfolio made almost 32K, trading just a minimum position size. Okay. Again, with the drawdown of less than 2.2K, right? Imagine if you had position size this portfolio on a larger account size. And some of our clients are doing that with other portfolios. All right. And they're reaping the benefits. So if this looks like something that you would like to learn more about, or start scaling your discretionary trading with automated trading and potentially create another stream of income for yourself, okay, then I would encourage you to join us tomorrow afternoon, March 28th right after market closes around 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central. And let me see, there's a link here. Maybe Nate has that link handy. If not, I got it right here. Here we go. I will post this in the chat for everyone. Okay, so you can register. In fact, just for joining us, you get a free robot. Okay, so come and spend some time with us. Now, if you're on the fence, guys, I'll be honest with you. Okay, at first I was skeptical about automated trading systems. Like Richard, Nate, and Kyle. Okay, I'm a discretionary trader. Like you guys have seen some of that in Signal Lab. If you're familiar, if you're in our Signal Lab, okay. Then I started trading a few of these robots in another live account, and I started to see results, actually positive results. Okay, results that for the most part actually matched back tested results. So now I've got a handful of bots that I turn on once a week and check on every morning. You know, I'll check on them throughout the day. Not that I have to, but I do anyways, just curious, right? And then I check on them again at the end of the trading day, just to make sure that they're flat. It only takes a few minutes each day. I like to say that these bots are my employees. And keep in mind, not every day is a winner, but overall, these portfolios are making money. So with a portfolio of algo bots like this, guys, you can create for yourself another stream of income that only takes a few minutes each day, if that. So, I mean, is there anyone in here that wouldn't mind having another stream of income that only takes a few minutes each day, right? If you do, and or just want to learn more about fully automated day trading systems, okay, join us tomorrow afternoon, right after market closes, 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central, and I'll see you there, okay? And I'm looking forward to it. So, again, I'll be there. I'm not presenting, Christian's presenting, but I'll be there to help and answer any questions that you may have. So, and right now, do you guys have any questions for me?
I'm very glad you asked, Craig. Actually, we've had a couple of guys here in the chat. Looks like they wanted to pick your brain a little bit. Namely, it looked like Keith and I believe Harold at one point. If you're able to see those guys in there.
Yeah. It looks like we have some neighbors here. Jackie's in Floral City.
I saw that. Yeah.
9 minutes from me. Keith's in Spring Hill. He's probably about 30 or 40 minutes from me. Keith, will it be recorded? Yes, but you want to join us in there, okay? Then you can ask your questions in live in real time and all that. Oh, I see, Nathan, you already answered that.
You can't beat the live room, you know. If you can make it
No,
live,
yeah.
absolutely encourage you to be there. There's an energy. It's really something to behold. In a worst case scenario, you can't make it and you do want to grab that recording, just be sure to register so you get access.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 2K on one micro. On the majority of these bots, yes. But there's 17 bots running, so they all don't run at the same time. You know, some will trade 2 or 3 days, and then you might not see another trade for a week, or they'll just trade 1, 2, 3 times a week. That's it, and the others trade. This is diversified. It's pretty much, it trades gold, crude, E-mini S&P, and E-mini Nasdaq, and you could do micros on it, obviously, right? So the stops, now that's 2K, that's the drawdown of your entire equity curve, the entire portfolio. The stops are roughly, I think the largest losing trade is like $200. And you'll see gains anywhere from $50 up to $500, you know, per bot. So it just depends. I mean, that's, as a member, I can show you how to actually determine all that information. So so you have to come and check us out, and then I can even answer some more questions on Tuesday, tomorrow. So cool, thanks, Jackie. Rick, I am in Robot Lab. What are the bots in this portfolio? I'm glad you asked, Rick. I will go over that on Thursday in our live session. Okay, I will go over that on Thursday in our live session. Here, does it trade on support or resistance, moving averages? No, it's actually it's a statistical thing. It crunches numbers, and I couldn't, Christian can explain more, but it looks at the statistics. I can't say statistics for some reason today, but it looks at that.
It's happening to me now.
I know, right? It looks at different things. It looks at anomalies in the market and price action, and Christian can explain more. What I do is, I will back test the bots, run the bots, and I'll work on a portfolio, and I'll try to find the best combination of bots to put together. And this is actually a great combination of bots that I put together. And what I showed you today, I'm actually going to share with our members, because this is a new portfolio. I'm going to share with our members on Thursday. So, but you'll have to come check us out tomorrow afternoon. So
awesome. Great. We got a little sneak peek of a new portfolio there. So first look, we very much appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. As you hear Craig mentioned here, in those Thursday sessions, a lot going on, you're getting a lot of support in those sessions, helping you build these portfolios. Dare I call it hand-holding, but that is an option.
Yeah, because as a Robot Lab member, you have, and Christian will go into the details, but on Tuesday we have more or less a live Q&A every Tuesday. Wednesday is another live session, and then Thursday is another live session. So it's not like, here's a set of bots, good luck, have a nice life.
Figure it out.
We're there. Yeah, we're there for you. We're there to handhold, to help you, and all that. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a big distinguishing feature too. Just the infrastructure for our support and having experts like you on deck. I mean, it's a game changer.
No, totally. Yeah. I mean, totally. Oh, it was under promise and over deliver, right?
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to drop that link one more time here in the chat. Again, we are going live tomorrow, 4:15 Eastern time. So be sure to hit that link, register. If you can make it to the live session, we absolutely encourage you to do so. If worst case scenario, I know Keith, it sounds like you got a golf tournament. I understand. So enjoy your time on the course. If you sign up, you'll get that link to the replay delivered to your inbox whenever you're ready for it. But to everyone else, definitely encourage you to be there live. We're going to go ahead and wrap up today's Profits at Noon session in just a minute here, but I do want to leave some space just in case anyone else has any questions whatsoever for Craig as it pertains to Robot Lab, or if you still had any lingering, burning questions for our very own Kyle Kinney for today's analysis or our levels to lock. Richard will be back with us on Wednesday. So Richard Krugel, King Richard, will be back in the house for our next session. So just giving you guys a minute here in that chat if you had anything you needed to pick our brains about. Beyond that, just hit that link. We'll see you again on Wednesday. We hope to see a lot of you tomorrow at Tuesday's live class. And outside of that, I just want to thank both Craig Hill and Kyle Kinney for their presence here today. Kyle for stepping in to fill in for Richard and did a great job. And Kyle is a busy guy, so we're lucky to have him. Same for you, Craig. Very lucky to have both of you here. So thank you again. It looks like Harold does maybe want some parting wisdom, which we do leave room for parting wisdom in these sessions, as well as my favorite dad joke of the day. We'll close with that. But first, it looks like Harold was asking, it says, looking at gold, he's looking for a buy. I don't, if anyone has any advice there or anything in particular.
Go ahead, Kyle. You did your analysis on it this morning.
Yeah. You have any thoughts, Craig?
Well, I'm just looking at it now, and it has sold off. It's retesting a previous swing high on the 30-minute. I'm just looking at a short term. And it's I'd rather see it a little bit better prices. It's kind of at a key inflection point right now, that previous swing high earlier in pre-market. I wouldn't buy it right now, but if it continued to move higher and then pull back to a previous support level, then I like it. Get a short-term, maybe tradable reaction back up to like 1972 and some change, 1973, 1975 area. But it could, if it continues to balance in here, though, it could come back to that 1945 area. So it's, in the short term, in my opinion, when you say buy, are you thinking long-term or short-term day trade? It just depends. We're still kind of below that. I look at the volume average price and we're still below that. But I mean, earlier about 10:30 this morning or just between 10 and 10:30 was a great time to buy when it busted out of the intraday balance.
Sure, and it looks like Harold is indeed looking for a scalping opportunity.
Oh, okay. Then, I mean, we're right smack dab in the middle of fair value. I need something. It's not set up. I don't see an entry yet. But it could, long-term wise, we're right smack dab in the middle of fair value. I like to get in wholesale prices below fair value or above fair value at retail prices, unless it's trending. And it's moving sideways right now, intraday. So I'd have to see it break out some key levels.
Yeah, Harold, I'm kind of in the same boat here as Craig. So we had a nice run to 1950 and a nice actually move out of the hole of 1950 there as well, consolidated around there a bit. But what I would like to see, right now it's really caught up, as Craig was saying, kind of in fair value, kind of caught up in a lot. I wouldn't say there's any point at this, right around this level to key off on, but I would look for a higher low. If it can pull back to the 1951 area and provide a higher low there, I think that would be a very interesting area to see if it can hold that and then potentially get a nice trade from that area. But it has room to go. I mean, if we can break out from here around 1960, and let's say it does break out, 1970 would be the next level on tap for a potential retest. But nice move into 1950. I just need to see a higher low right now. Price is tied up, but if we can get a higher low, above 1951 or above that, then that would probably set up pretty well for a move this afternoon. So it's one of the things I'm looking for here as well. But
yeah, and if it can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it breaks here, 1957, this has been tested enough times where if it breaks, it's you'll see a few swing lows at a downside. So there may be some shorting opportunities in there. Right. But yeah, it's balancing. See that?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a drift. I call it a drift of death. I hate watching those drifting markets.
Yeah.
But you can see right here on Craig's chart here. I see what you did, Harold. You got two traders here now, just cutting up the market, and we'll sit here and talk shop for the next hour and dissect this.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and just draw here on your chart here, Craig. But
go for it.
Yeah, there is. We have this area, right through here that is just, kind of a slippery area. You can see the market kind of just cratered through this area here a couple of times. And then, came right back above it. So if we can get a test right back into this area, especially right back to these highs and sets up a nice higher low with a good trade setup, I think that would be an ideal. If it can pull back, as Craig was saying, and put in, a couple of these, kind of like little swing points here, nice little drive, maybe even a wedge there at that point, I think that would be a nice launching point for a potential buy trade here in gold. So.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
Yeah.
And you could even catch a scalp to the downside on the breakdown.
And cup and handles there, Harold. I like them in continuation patterns a bit more. On an intraday basis, I don't know, I'd kind of like a high tight high and tight kind of cup and handle type of formation. But I see where you're coming from here, because I can definitely see, the cup like here, and then you got that kind of handle going on here. But I guess for my money, I would just like to see a bit of a pullback, get a little bit more value for the trade. So, excellent. But I certainly see where you're coming from.
Well, I think it's a good sign you two are in agreement. So that's always good. But
even better with gold's in agreement.
Yeah. And the only thing I'll add to the mix is, as far as it's great to balance these things too, with Richard's more long-term look too. If any of you are joining us on YouTube, this is being simulcast to YouTube. We do encourage you. There's a link to join us in these Zoom sessions where you'll get reminders and direct access for the Q&A and things like that. But if you're on our YouTube channel and you want to grab the more recent Profits at Noon session from this past Thursday and take a look at Richard analyzing the corrective nature of the larger patterns at play here too. So it's always great, and it's fascinating to see, those to supplement the short term, the long term, to see the complete picture like that. So yeah, we do encourage you to check out prior sessions. And again, Richard will be back on Wednesday for the next session. But yeah, if we don't have any other questions for our guys here today, we will probably go ahead and wrap this session up. We'll give you guys just 1 second here, but typically this is where we offer a bit of parting wisdom, and as of recently, a terrible joke. So gentlemen, if you had any parting wisdom beyond the stuff we just discussed as it pertains to gold, now would be the opportunity to fire away.
Kyle?
Go ahead, Craig.
No, go ahead. You first.
I love it. When I bust this out, everybody's really put on the spot. You guys probably
1,000%, man. I mean, as far as a lot of these trades here, I would say, well, especially for the week, because I guess Richard may be back here later on in this week. Just kind of be patient. As far as any news related items or anything like that, just remember that there's Fed speeches certainly coming through. That could, junk up the market here and there. So just kind of be aware of those things kind of going through. Obviously, those things are inflationary conversations, banking conversations, certainly going to affect gold here quite a bit. There's a lot of focus here on gold, and it's actually had quite a bit of a nice run here. Currently on daily charts, putting in a bit of a lower high here too. So something to watch out for, at least for the intermediate term. But overall, I mean, it's looking fairly positive. So. Yeah, just be patient, guys. Let the trade. A lot of times, guys, just let the trade come to you.
Right. Yeah, I'll add to that and just say, like Kyle's saying, the chart tells a story, right? And it's kind of up to us to kind of read the story of the chart and just go with the chart. It's like a surfer kind of goes with the waves. We can't tell what the market to do. We just have to kind of blend. Don't focus on beating the market, blend with the market. And no matter what market you trade, make sure that you understand larger time frame context. And then that's pretty much what Richard does, right? So it's important to bring that into and understand larger time frame context instead of just looking at a 1, 3, or 5 minute chart, even if you are a scalper, because you could turn a scalp trade into a really good, like long-term meaning like 3 hours, right? A really good day trade by trading with context. So that would be the thing that I would add is I look at use two charts, a higher time frame, smaller time frame. The best trades are when you have multiple time frame alignment.
Roger that. Well, yeah, thank you guys both so much. Very much appreciated. Again, thanking you both for your time here today. Join us again on Wednesday at noon Eastern for the next edition of Profits at Noon. And I lastly want to thank everyone who spent their time with us here today. It's always good to see our familiar faces as well as a few new ones. And to anyone who is watching this simulcast on YouTube, again, I do encourage you, in the description, there is a link to join us in these Zoom sessions, get direct access to the Q&A as well as reminders. So thank you, everybody. With one last parting shot here. First, I'll hit our mantra, which went well with all the parting wisdom. If we don't have a plan, we are planning to fail. And now, last but certainly not least, would be our parting terrible joke. So, Craig, I'll make you the focus here. I'll put you in the hot seat. Craig, what do you call a pony with a sore throat?
A pony with a sore throat. I have no idea.
He's a little horse.
Oh,
You're welcome. For better or worse, you're welcome. There we go.
Go
Harold
out on a
knew
high
it.
note, man.
Harold came in. He had the answer. Look at that. Harold, I hope you're here for the next session. It was a lot of fun having you here, and I do appreciate your participation in my terrible joke. So thank you all again. We'll wrap this up. I'll see you again on Wednesday. Everyone have a great week in the meantime, and feel free to reach out to our support if you have any questions or concerns in the interim. Thank you all so much. Goodbye.
Thanks,
bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh.